Welcome, Michelin Math Geometry students. Once again, we're going to talk about, we're back on GeoGebra, of course, and we're going to talk about three different types of triangle congruence. Last time we talked about regular congruence, so now we're going to talk about triangle congruence. Now, the first one is called the SSS, side, side, side. The question is, now I have three sides here that are specific length. You see, I can't change the length. I can move this around like that, but I can't change the length. And I've got another one here, but I can move it all around. I just can't change the length of this. So the question is, how many triangles can I make? How many different triangles can I make with these three segments? Okay, let's see. I'll put this on here, nail that to that one, and I'll put this over here and nail it to there. And see if I can bring these points together now and make a triangle. And it looks like if I do this and this, move this just up a little bit like that, and move this down here, now I got a pretty nice looking triangle, right? Now remember, all three of these sides are the same length. Now I'm going to try another three sides, and because I'm pretty tricky, I've already created three different sides. And there they are. And now these three are duplicates of these three. Now you're saying, well, these triangles aren't the same thing. Well, don't be so certain, because this line is exactly the same length as this line. Okay? Don't believe me? Let's try it. Put this back up here, and look, you see? These two segments are exactly the same size. That's the way I created them. And so, what does that mean for us? That means that when I put this here and this here, it means that these two triangles can be put on top of each other, and they're exactly the same triangle. Now, I have not been able to figure out how to make two different triangles using the same three side lengths. Now, if you can figure that out, how to do that, then you will make mathematics history, I promise you. So that's how you do that one. Let's try another one here. Open, don't save. We're going to try side angle side. And what this means is we're going to try to create if I begin with a side length 3, okay, and let's see what that means. I've got side length 3 right there. And another side length 5, side length 5 right there. And a 45 angle in between. Now, this has got to be in between in order for it to be side angle side. So there's my 45 angle in between. Now, I've got these of a certain length. Both sides are a certain length. So I just kind of make the rest of it. How many different triangles can I make? So let's see. This is 3.6. Now, the red one, like I said, is 3, and the green one is 5, and I got a 45-degree angle. Now, there's that. Now, let's see if I can make a different triangle using those same three things, okay? So, I'm going to do, there's another length, side with length 3. There's another side with length 5. And again, there's my 45-degree angle in between. Now, if I connect the two endpoints there and make that third side, you notice that that third side is also 3.6 meters or centimeters long. So the question is, are these two triangles congruent? You say, well, they don't look congruent. But remember, congruent means I can pick this one up and put it on top of this one. Now, that doesn't mean that I can't flip it upside down. And if I flip this upside down, of course, this red one will line up with this red one. This green one will line up with this green one, and this brown one will line up with this brown one. And so the fact is that these two triangles are congruent. And if you don't believe me, then you go right ahead and you try to make two different triangles with two sides the same length and one angle the same measure, and the angle has to be in between. Now that's the trick. You have to have that angle in between. Okay? And I don't think you can do that, but maybe you can, but I don't think so, because there's people throughout history who try to do that. So we're going to try a new one here, and we're going to try angle side angle congruence finally. Okay, and now I've got one side CD that's length 6, and I've got an angle that's 61 degrees over here. So I'm going to put that angle here. Now remember, I'm just looking at the angle here, and the I'll put this point right there like that. And now I'm going to take angle B, or point B, put it over here. And now I've got a 46 degree angle, and I got a 61 degree angle, and this is the triangle that I make. Now I can't move these points, but you can see I've got a triangle there that I've made. Now the question is, can I make a second triangle that has the same, oops, sorry about that, that has the same measure, or the same three, I have two different angles of two different, that have the same measure, and one side that has the same measure. So let me try to see if I can do that. Now I'm going to see if I can get everything on here at one time. I think I can do that. So here's another point here. Now remember, again, I can only, this is 6 units long. I can't change the length of this side, and I can't change the measure of these two angles. So let's see if I can make a different triangle. Of course, I'm going to be tricky. I'm going to put the 61 degree angle over here this time. All right, and I better move this down here so it doesn't get confusing. And I'm going to put this up here. Put this up here. Now, is this triangle congruent to this triangle? Well, the only way to tell is if you were to use tracing paper and put it over top of this and trace that triangle, and then pick it up and flip it upside down, because obviously they're reverses of each other. But remember, a triangle can be flipped upside down. As long as you can figure out some way to pick it up and put it on top of another triangle, then it's congruent. And once again, angle side angle congruence works, because no matter how I do this, I can't figure out how to put these two angles. Remember, this side has to be in between those two angles. I can't put this side over here and make a different triangle from it. So there's no way I can make these two different angles and this one side in between those two angles. I can only make one triangle with that. All the triangles that I make with that are going to be congruent. We're going to learn more about this. We're going to talk more about this when we're in class tomorrow. So don't freak out if you don't quite understand what I'm talking about. That's okay. All right, just wanted to give you an idea what this looks like. Thanks for paying attention.